The Olympics. 5 rings, 100,000 doves, and enough national anthems to make your ears bleed patriotism. But behind those dazzling opening ceremonies and triumphant medal counts lurks a darker side, a tangled web of scandals and controversies. The 1972 Olympics in Munich was supposed to be a celebration of peace and international cooperation. Athletes from around the world gathered to compete in the spirit of unity and sportsmanship, showcasing their talents and fostering goodwill among nations. Instead, they became a horrific spectacle of violence that forever stained the Olympic movement. The world watched in shock and disbelief as the events unfolded, shattering the illusion of safety and camaraderie that the Games were meant to represent. 8 members of the Palestinian terrorist group Black September took 11 Israeli athletes and coaches hostage, demanding the release of over 200 Palestinian prisoners. The tense standoff gripped the globe, with everyone hoping for a peaceful resolution that never came. By the end of the siege, all 11 hostages, along with a German police officer, were dead. Their lives tragically cut short. The failed rescue attempt highlighted the unpreparedness and the dire consequences of such acts of terror. This tragic event serves as a stark reminder that even in the supposed sanctuary of sport, the spectre of hatred and violence could not be outrun. The legacy of the Munich Massacre continues to haunt the Olympic Games, a somber chapter in the history of international sport. Look, we all love a good underdog story, right? The thrill of seeing someone rise against all odds, the sheer joy of witnessing a moment of pure triumph. It's what makes sport so captivating and inspiring. But what happens when that victory is fueled by something more sinister than just blood, sweat, and tears? When the playing field is no longer level, and the spirit of competition is tainted by deceit? From Ben Johnson's infamous 100-meter dash in 1988, a moment that shocked the world and left fans disillusioned, to the state-sponsored doping program by Russia at the 2014 Sochi Games, a scandal that revealed the lengths to which some will go to secure victory. The pursuit of athletic dominance has often come at a steep ethical cost. These actions undermine the integrity of sports and the values they represent. These scandals haven't just tarnished individual athletes, they've shattered dreams and reputations, leaving a trail of broken trust. They've cast a long shadow over entire nations and eroded the very foundation of fair play on which the Olympics are built. The question remains, how do we restore the purity and honor of the Games we hold so dear? Quality that continues to resonate today. For sale Olympic glory, terms and conditions may apply. The allure of hosting the Olympics is undeniable, a chance for cities to shine on the world stage, basking in the glory of international attention and prestige. When it comes to hosting the Olympics, the bidding process can be as cutthroat and ethically murky as a game of hungry hippos played by politicians. Behind the scenes, cities engage in fierce competition, often resorting to questionable tactics to outbid their rivals. Case in point, the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. What should have been a celebration of winter sports and unity turned into a scandalous affair. It was revealed that Salt Lake City officials had engaged in a brazen bribery scheme to secure the Games, showering members of the International Olympic Committee with lavish gifts. These gifts ranged from expensive trips to scholarships for their children. This scandal exposed the dark underbelly of Olympic bidding and led to a major overhaul of the IOC. The reforms aim to increase transparency and restore faith in the Olympic movement. But the shadow of past misdeeds still lingers. Tonya and Nancy Mayhem on ice. Figure skating, a sport where grace and athleticism collide, has its own dark side of fierce competition and cutthroat rivalries. The saga of Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan embodies this perfectly. In January 1994, Kerrigan was attacked, her knee clubbed by an assailant connected to Harding's ex-husband. The scandal captivated the nation and cast a long shadow over Harding's career, cementing her place in Olympic infamy. The Olympics, a celebration of sport, a testament to human achievement, and a giant geopolitical hot potato. From the 1936 Berlin Olympics to the 2008 Beijing Games, the Olympics have consistently found themselves at the intersection of sport and politics. In recent years, the awarding of the Games to countries like Russia and Qatar has drawn criticism over issues ranging from LGBTQ+ rights to the treatment of migrant workers. The question of where to host the Olympics is a thorny one, with no easy answers. Judging Judy and the Olympic scoring system. We've all been there, folks. You're watching a competition and then the judges announce a score so utterly baffling you'd swear they were looking at a completely different event. From questionable scoring in figure skating to suspicious decisions in boxing, the Olympics have seen their fair share of judging controversies. These incidents highlight the inherent subjectivity of judging in many sports and the ever-present potential for bias, corruption and incompetence. 1996 terror in Atlanta. The 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta were designed to be a triumphant homecoming for the Games, but on July 27th, a pipe bomb exploded in Centennial Olympic Park, killing one person and injuring over 100 others. The FBI eventually identified the perpetrator as Eric Rudolph, a domestic terrorist. The Atlanta bombing served as a stark reminder that even in the midst of celebration, the threat of terrorism remained a very real danger. Tokyo 2021, the Pandemic Games. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics, postponed for a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, faced an uphill battle from the start. With the virus still raging, public opinion in Japan was sharply divided. Despite strict safety protocols, the Games were not immune to the pandemic's reach, with athletes testing positive and events held in empty stadiums. The Tokyo Olympics were a stark reminder that even the world's greatest sporting event is not immune to the forces shaping our world. The Olympic paradox, the underbelly of the Olympics, laid bare in all its messy, complicated glory. We've journeyed through acts of terrorism, doping scandals, and judging controversies. But here's the thing about the Olympics. Even with all its flaws, it still has this uncanny ability to captivate us. The Olympics remain a powerful force, a global event that forces us to confront both the best and worst of humanity. The Games go on. The Olympics, a glorious, messy, and often deeply problematic spectacle. We've seen triumphs of the human spirit, but also the depths of human greed and corruption. Are the Olympics a flawed institution? Absolutely, but they are also capable of producing moments of genuine inspiration and athletic brilliance. So what are we to make of this grand, contradictory spectacle? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide.